Okay, so I'm in a ridiculous line at the drive-thru in the bank. The line inside was even worse. So I figured I'd take this time to where am I looking? Make a video regarding my vegan journey. A lot of people have been asking what led me to go vegan, how did I transition to being a vegan, how long have I been vegan, things of that nature. So I will get into those specifics right now. I have been living with uterine fibroids for about 5 years now, that I know of. But that has led to ridiculously heavy cycles and again, things that I'll detail in a whole other video because it is deep. And I've had a myomectomy, which removed a 2-pound tumor from the external wall of my uterus back in 2011 or 12. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. And then I had another procedure not even 4 months later where they went in and they scraped more. And the doctors have always told me, we don't know what causes fibroids. Yes, they're more prominent in African American women, but we don't know what causes them. Okay, great. And so over the years, of course, I've just wanted to trust my doctors. That's what we do. You know, they're the ones who have been to school. They have all the knowledge. And so we try to trust them and listen to them. But I liken my relationship with my doctors the same way I do my relationship with my pastor, who I love and adore. However, I know that individual is still human and is still flawed to a degree. So even though I may sit in church every Sunday and I may shout amen, I may agree, I may receive revelation of the word through their teachings, I have to still take the time to go into the word and find out what it says about my life, about the world, about situations for myself. I have to go and learn for myself. And I think a lot of times, too often, we do not take the time to do that when it comes to our health. We get, for lack of a better term, lazy. We get, and we move in fear. We move in doubt. And so we don't ask questions. A lot of us don't know what questions to ask. So if a doctor tells us, oh, well, you have to have this surgery, or you have to get on this prescription because this is the only option, then we just do that. I mean, because we trust that they are the ones who know what they're doing. Around March of 2015, I was visiting my friend of Nigeria up in Northern Virginia, and she had this friend of hers, what's up, Tron, hopefully you'll watch this video, who was like, Nye and I have been discussing her issues with fibromyalgia and lupus, and my issues with uterine fibroids and everything, and anemia and things of that nature. And he was listening to us and was like, y'all need to go raw, y'all need to go vegan. There's a sister named Chef Aki in Atlanta who has this program, the Fibroid Elimination Bible and the Fibroid Elimination Challenge, and y'all really need to get up on that. And I was like, all right, okay, cool. And I had heard about it before. She had kind of come across my timeline before, but as months progressed, I just kept I kept learning more about phytoestrogens and excessive estrogen and how it impacts the body and the female reproductive system. And it just kept coming up. So it wasn't until July that I really got to the point where I was like, you know what? Tron may have been onto something, and I had done more research and been kind of watching people online and wondering, I became curious as to what it could possibly do for me. And it was in the month of July that the Lord spoke to my heart and said, I have given you everything, your body, everything it needs to heal itself. I have created everything in the earth to use to heal it. And I thought, okay, all right, Lord. And he said, through your obedience, you will be healed. Through your discipline and your obedience, you will be healed. And I heard it clear as day. My heart was full with anticipation and possibility and hope just from his words alone. And so it was at that point that I decided that I needed to make the transition to becoming a vegan. Now, the Fibroid Elimination Bible, I purchased it. And it's a small book, nothing too deep. I was seeing if I had it with me. Nothing too deep, but it is jam-packed with information that is actually available online. And so, but if you don't know what to look for online, then this is a good place to start. It's an awesome place to start. let me say this. The things that I've learned since beginning this process are not just things that will heal women of fibroids, but these are the things that can deal with erectile dysfunction, STDs, even, like, for real. I've been reading about all of these things, high blood pressure, of course, diabetes, all of these things that are killing us, that are literally killing us, can be healed with just a little bit of discipline and a little bit of obedience. So at the end of July of 2015, I decided this is the time. So I picked a week. By the end of this week, I will stop eating pork and beef. By the end of the next week, I stopped eating chicken and seafood. By the end of the following week, I eliminated all of the dairy products. I've been drinking things like almond milk for years, so but cheeses and things of that nature. And so what I did is, over the next month, the next 4 weeks, I just eliminated different things that were not a part of the fibroid elimination, or what is the fibroid elimination diet. And I have, let me tell you, it has actually been very easy. I think, one, because it has been I was directed and I heard specifically from God. Two, it was because I transitioned. Okay. What has happened is, I've been vegan now for 5 months. Wow. Almost 5 months. And can I do math? For almost 5 months, and I've seen exceptional progress. I cannot describe to you the change that has occurred just from changing my diet. First of all, I've lost 25 pounds in 4 months. I had lost 25 pounds in 4 months. I went from anywhere between 230 and 225, or 225 to 230, to now I'm right around 200, 205, somewhere in between there. So it fluctuates, of course, depending on my life, what I've been eating, whether I'm bloated or not, and things of that nature. So that's in 4 months' time. Additionally, I have gone from having, okay, this is where the details come in. I've gone from having menstrual cycles for the past year and a half, at least, that I recall. I was having a cycle 12 to 14 days on average for every 7 days. So imagine bleeding heavily, ridiculously, okay, for 12 to 14 days, and then having a 7-day break, and then turn around, and after 7 days, you're right back on it. Like, this became my new normal. And I knew that it wasn't right. So needless to say, I was ridiculously weak. I was ridiculously anemic, to the point where I couldn't go up 1 or 2 stairs, not flights, 1 or 2 stairs, trying to get through a building or visit someone's home. I mean, I would be ridiculously winded and just out of breath. And I was in really, 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 really bad shape. I couldn't run anymore. I couldn't work out anymore. And I can't even, it's no exaggeration. It was terrible. So, okay. So I finished up at the bank, but I wanted to, I want to come somewhere and park so that I can finish this video, since I've already started it. So, that is the gist of what was going on with my cycle. And what led me to begin this journey. Okay, so even though, as I mentioned, losing weight wasn't my goal, of course losing weight is going to be evidence of a better lifestyle, straight up. Okay, so again, to reiterate, I've gone from I went over the pounds, but I've also gone from a size 18 to a size 14, and that is, again, within 4 months time. I feel better than I have felt in years. I have way more energy. So, like, even when I am tired, because we get tired, that's what humans do. I am not as, I don't feel sluggish. I don't feel heavy throughout the day. And I literally have more energy than I can even describe. I mentioned that my cycles have improved. I have not had any sinus medicine since I started. I haven't had any headache medicine since I started. I literally have not taken any medicine since, I'll say since about a month in. I have not taken anything. And before, I was having to take Claritin every day. I was having to take nasal sprays every day. I'm one of those people that have always gotten up in the morning and I got phlegm coming out. I'm coughing it all up every single morning. And for those of you who know the story of Mr. Bruton and I, during our courtship, yeah, the snot episode of 2006, that's a whole other story. But none of that is happening anymore, and this has been since I've been vegan. Y'all, I cannot stress it. I cannot stress to you the importance of paying attention to not just what you're eating. And I'm not saying that everybody has to be vegan, although it is very helpful. What I am saying is that every once in a while you might want to reconsider your diet and at least give yourself a break. Fast intermittently. Fast, you know, do a meatless Monday. Just start small. Start where you can. Start where you can, and you'd be amazed at the difference. I haven't had any sodas. I haven't had any, and I barely drink juice. I don't really drink any sweet tea. And what I found is that since I've changed my habits, my palate has changed. So things that weren't too salty to me before are ridiculously salty now. I don't really do a whole lot of sweetness anymore. I mean, I still crave chocolate here and there, but there's vegan chocolate. Haha. And I'm sorry, I keep smacking. I need to learn how to, I speak well, but anyway, I still smack my lips when I'm doing these videos. So, I really can't stress the change that has occurred. I really cannot stress it. One of the things that my husband has quoted to me is that we often miss the miraculous looking for the spontaneous. We often miss the miraculous looking for the spontaneous. And this is not a sprint by no means. This lifestyle is something that it's going to have to go beyond a New Year's resolution. It's going to have to go beyond, okay, on Monday I'm starting this. And then, you know, you last a few days or you go real hard. It has to be slow. It has to be a marathon. It really does, because this is something that you want to find your pace. You want to find your groove. You know, eating whole foods can be taxing on your time and on your energy in the beginning, but it gets much better once you learn the things that you like to eat and the things that you can eat. You'll find that taking the time to prep them, it ends up happening fast. It doesn't take you all day to chop up some vegetables. My husband bought me a Ninja a few years ago, and a lot of times when I don't have time to sit and chop up stuff, I toss everything in that food processor. And so I have all my onions and peppers and things in one container. I have my cauliflower, rice, and things in another container, and I can whip up a meal, and it is tasty. I've been using more fresh herbs or even dried herbs. And again, because my habits have changed, my palate has changed. There's a whole world of food out there. There's a whole world of it, and really it's not that much more expensive than the food that we're already eating. And even if it, for the times that it does get, you know, buying organic does get a little expensive, I think about it like this: I would rather pay for what I'm going to eat now than pay in doctor bills, more in doctor bills later. I said, you know what? I'm going to have to spend the money somewhere. And clearly, this over here with these copays and with these doctor bills isn't working, because I have doctors telling me that even if I have another surgery, there's always going to be some there, because they just show up. And again, we don't know how. And they're lying. They're lying. We know what causes fibroids. It's an excessive amount of estrogen in our bodies. It's that simple. It's that simple. We're being lied to, and I was afraid of sounding like some old kooky conspiracy theorist, but it's right there. It's all right there. It's on the internet to read. There are in other books. There are countless studies that are being done where doctors are saying that it's not. So anyway, that just burns me up. So yeah, so that's why I became vegan. Okay. What I'm gonna do is actually today I started a water fast, and so I'll give you more details about that in another video that I'll post probably tomorrow. I may post it this evening. So, but right now I need to get back to work. This video is probably gonna be like 20 minutes long. I'm gonna edit it so that yeah, it makes a little more sense. So love you guys. Please be inspired. We're rebuilding here. We are rebuilding. And so don't be ashamed to start where you are, okay? Your body will tell you what it needs as long as you take the time to listen. Between God, who created us, and the body that we're living in, we will have every bit of information that we need to live our best life and to live life to the fullest. Okay? So be encouraged, be inspired. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. Okay, brothers, that means you too. Just because I've been talking about fibroids doesn't mean that y'all don't have some issues too. Okay. All right, love you guys. Peace.